In the dark forests of Eastern Europe, where the shadows of towering mountains stretch across the land, a prince was born. A man whose name would inspire fear, respect, and legend. His name was Vlad III, but history remembers him by another title. Vlad the Impaler, the ruler of Wallachia, the man who became the real-life Dracula. Born in 1431, Vlad was the son of Vlad II Dracula, a nobleman of Wallachia and a member of the Order of the Dragon, a secret brotherhood dedicated to defending Christian Europe against the invading Ottoman Empire. From birth, his destiny was tied to war, blood, and survival. But Vlad's childhood was not one of luxury or peace. It was one of betrayal and captivity. At just 11 years old, Vlad and his younger brother Radu were taken hostage by the Ottomans, used as political pawns to ensure their father's loyalty. For years, he lived among his enemies, learning their language, their military tactics, and most importantly, their brutality. When Vlad was finally released, he returned to find his father murdered and his throne stolen. This was the moment he became something more than just a prince. He became a warrior, a leader, and a force of nature. With fire and steel, he seized back his throne, and from that day forward, he ruled with an iron hand. But Vlad did not rule as a kind and gentle king. He ruled with fear. Wallachia was surrounded by enemies, from the power-hungry Hungarians in the west to the ever-expanding Ottoman Empire in the east. Vlad knew that in order to keep his people safe, he had to become more terrifying than his foes, and so began his legend. Vlad's favorite method of punishment became the one that earned him his name: impaling his enemies on giant wooden stakes. He did not simply defeat his enemies, he turned them into a warning. Entire forests of impaled corpses were left in his wake, the bodies of traitors, criminals, and invading armies left to rot under the open sky. When the Ottoman Sultan Mehmed II, the man who had conquered Constantinople, sent an army to destroy Vlad, he found something that chilled even his blood. As he and his men marched deeper into Wallachian land, they stumbled into a nightmare. Thousands of his own soldiers, impaled alive, their lifeless bodies swaying in the wind. This was no ordinary battlefield. It was a vision of hell. Mehmed turned back. The great conqueror, the man who never knew fear, refused to face the Prince of Wallachia. But while Vlad's tactics saved his people from invasion, they also made him many enemies. His own noblemen betrayed him, allying with the Hungarians, who captured him and threw him into a dungeon. For years, he was imprisoned, but his hatred, his rage, and his thirst for power never died. When he was finally released, Vlad once again took back his throne, but this time, his enemies were too many. His final reign was short, and in 1476, he was betrayed and killed, his head sent to the Ottoman Sultan as a trophy. But death was not the end of Vlad the Impaler. His legend only grew stronger. Stories of his bloodthirst, his cruelty, and his wars spread across Europe, and centuries later, his name would inspire the world's most famous vampire, Count Dracula. But Vlad was no monster. He was a man, a king, a warrior who fought for his people with the only weapon he had, fear itself. His name will never be forgotten,